to people so they can get on my island,
Mhm.
collect some stars, some star fragments, hopefully some large ones,
Mhm. Mhm.
hopefully some Aries one. Actually, no, I don't really need. I don't want. I want just want the small and the large fragments. That's all I need. Large and small fragments. I don't want the Aries one or whatever zodiac sign we're in right now. No, actually, we're not in there. We're in Taurus.
Ah. Ah.
So I don't want none of those. Just give me the damn small and big fragments. That's it.
So on to topics. I moved the one that you had up on top. I moved it just a little bit further because I think this other stuff. I think that's going to take a little while. So, but let's start with MK.
Yep.
MK Aftermath revealed. So
Yes.
MK11 is coming out with surprise DLC that nobody's seen coming, and that was with. So I had to have Super John catch me up on the story because Super John is a big MK fan. So I messaged him right away. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to explain some things for me. Liu Kang is apparently a god now, so that's some
Yep.
good. That's some news. But I guess he's saying that the way the DLC is kicking in is pretty much how the game ended. So that's good. Good to know.
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, I haven't played MK11 yet, but going through the other two, it's like so. Liu Kang died in MK9. Then MK10 was just Johnny Cage and Sonya and Casey Cage and the Offsprings battling like the dead army of MK fighters with Shao Kahn, and not with Shao Kahn, against Shao Kahn again, and the just now it's we go back in time in this one, and now Liu Kang is a god, not dead. I don't know. It's so confusing.
It's everywhere. It's
It's all over.
everywhere.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. So with saying that, they did release a few new characters. So
Yes,
Shiva, they released Shiva.
Shiva.
They released they released a character that's in a few Mortal Kombat's, but not all of them. Like he's in Mortal Kombat 4 was his first appearance. Um,
Mhm.
what's his name?
It's a long time coming, but Fujin is in it.
Yep, yep. And then RoboCop wasn't the third one. There was another MK character, right? Or was Mortal Kombat? I mean, not Mortal Kombat. RoboCop.
No, no, RoboCop was the third one because I watched the trailer. I'm watching it again.
Yep,
Actually, yeah, Shiva was the first one to get shown.
yep.
Then they showed Fujin, which a lot of people again were looking forward to Fujin,
Mhm.
and then the third one was RoboCop.
Yeah. So I'm not familiar with Fujin. Like I might have seen him and just never really knew. At first I thought it.
Fujin, yeah, Fujin's actually been like not a mainstay like fighter
Hmm.
character in Mortal Kombat, but he's like been in a lot of Mortal Kombat as
Yeah.
like a backup character because he is technically the Wind God.
Yeah. Yep. That's what
So
John was telling me.
yeah, and a lot of people were asking for Fujin to be in this one because he hasn't been in one in forever, and
Mhm.
we got Fujin, and
Nice.
which is a good. I like that addition. Fujin
We've
actually
been
played pretty well in the last one I used them in.
and everyone's been asking for Shiva for quite some time as well. So good to see her back in the lineup
Yep.
again. So I'm
Yeah.
interested.
So
Not just that, we got Frenalities back into it. We added some new stages with some special stage kills. Did we get new fatalities?
I don't know. I saw we got friendships and we got stage fatalities.
Yep, yep.
I do
So
know that,
yeah, yeah, and
which is pretty sweet.
John and Super John, I'm not gonna lie to you, this definitely seems interesting. So now the story is um Liu Kang and Raiden want to change history. So for some reason they have to work with Shao Kahn. I mean not Shao Kahn,
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung, yep. Because Shang Tsung has some stuff that can help him within changing the time, and I guess it's not going to be obviously as easy as they thought, and they're going to ruin a bunch of things by doing it. So, well, I guess we're going to see what's going to
Well,
end up
yeah, of
happening
course.
with that. So, um, What's going on? Thank you for joining. Let me get my soda here. So yeah, so that seems interesting with the new Mortal Kombat DLC.
It's so weird to see Raiden with like normal eyes.
Did he
It
have
it,
normal
it is
eyes?
because you're always used to him. Yeah, in the trailer he has normal eyes
I thought his
because
eyes were like.
they're switching them over. So no, yeah, because now Liu Kang became the god, so now he's got like the electric eyes, and then Raiden is just normal human eyeballs,
Hmm.
which I think is really funny. We've never seen him like that, or at least I've never seen him like that. So
Yeah, no,
very interesting. Very
yeah, no.
where Lou and Raiden were going to start a new. Okay. Mashang stops them and goes for. Okay. New Cybot friendship was shown and makes
Oh,
Raiden
the
laugh.
jump rope, the jump rope. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Kano's was
It makes
barbecuing.
sense.
So you're gonna have to talk a little bit about this one because I didn't know about this one.
Which I gotta catch up.
The Jeff
Oh,
Keighley.
Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, the article we shared it in the group chat. But this was quite interesting. Actually, this one for the length of time that he said it. So Jeff Keighley announces a 4-month summer game fest, which I thought was quite interesting. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's 4 months.
Mm. A new
So the
season of
article says
news.
from
Okay.
IGN.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, from IGN. Jeff Keighley has revealed Summer Game Fest, an industry-wide celebration of video games that will run from May to August 2020 and deliver news, in-game events, and playable content.
Mm.
The news was first revealed by Keighley on Twitter, who posted note outlining his ambitions for the Summer Game Fest project. The Phase 1 lineup for the festival will include news from 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, CD Projekt Red, Digital Extremes, EA, PlayStation, Private Division, Riot Games, Square Enix, Steam, Warner Brothers, and Xbox. As well as strict news, Keighley's festival will offer in-game events, playable content, and demos of select titles, as well as a number of announcements that are yet to be revealed. Playable game festivals from Steam and Xbox are expected to arrive soon, and the festival will incorporate panels and interviews with prolific developers and publishers in the games industry. You can check out the Summer Game Fest website here, where you can sign up to be notified when the contest schedule goes live. There's a link on the IGN website, which I should probably sign up for that. But yeah, huge news.
Yeah. No. Definitely.
This
And
definitely takes over a whole E3.
yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Jeff Keighley. I've always loved his stuff. Gaming Awards, I think he does a fantastic job on. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to pan out. More gaming stuff, of course. This gaming stuff in general is good. He has such huge connections within the game industry. Everyone in the game industry highly, highly respects him. So I think this is gonna be a fantastic turn. I mean, look what he did with the gaming awards. So.
Yeah, he's turned the gaming awards into an incredible show. Kind of last year though, got away from the whole awards part of it.
Mhm.
Just because I feel like they showed a lot more trailers than they did like awards, and like kind of made the trailer stand out.
Mhm.
There's like a separate time for that. Game awards should be more about the awards. Like it's cool to show little things, but not like a whole bunch of different things. So that's just
I,
my opinion.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like it, but if this year if we decide that we're going to do it this way, then I think you can separate from that.
Well, I think him doing a 4-month summer game fest
Right.
kind of will like edge it away from game awards stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, when he says phase 1 lineup, and the lineup includes 2K, Activision, literally almost every studio on here. It's like it's a ridiculous studio.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
list again: 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, CD Projekt Red, Digital Extremes, EA, PlayStation, Private Division, Riot Games, Square Enix, Steam, Warner Brothers, and Xbox. So basically, it's like Cyberpunk with maybe some Ghost of Tsushima, possibly Last of Us 2, even though we've seen some trailers already,
Mhm.
with Valorant, with which is Riot, Blizzard with possibly Overwatch 2, maybe Diablo 4,
Mhm.
Bungie, who knows? And maybe more content for Destiny
I
2.
mean, Destiny is
Uh,
people still are heavily into Destiny. There's like a big following still for Destiny. I mean, Andrea Renee is like super into Destiny, and she's got a whole clique that does it. So,
well, yeah, yeah, she is a huge Destiny fan. We've known that for ages now.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk, Square Enix, FF7 DLC, maybe.
I don't think you'll see DLC. I don't think we'll get DLC for Final Fantasy VII, especially with them doing it in sections
You
the way
never
they
know.
are. I'd be surprised. I don't even think there's a need to. Like I don't even think there's a need for it.
There might not be a need for it, but if they threw out DLC for FF7, I'm guaranteeing you a bunch of people, everybody's going to go purchase.
Mm.
So
I don't even know how they would do that, to
wouldn't be a
be honest.
bad idea. Well, I can understand that from
Yeah.
your perspective. I can understand that because let's put it this way: from your perspective, that is your favorite game,
Mm.
and there's no way you can like make it any better.
But like,
So
and not even
why
in,
add DLC to it?
but it's not even that. It's the design of the game. Like the game's not an open world game, so it's not like the side quests aren't really side quests. They're still a part of the main game. Like there are certain things you can continue
Hmm.
without doing the side quest. I guess they said you can do, but before you go to move on, it tells you like if you move on, these side quests aren't available. So the open world part of the game really isn't until later on. So in this game so
Hmm.
far, I don't see how they can do it. It would be weird. Um, because the reason why I don't see them doing DLC for this is because this isn't all of the game. Does that make sense? So it's like once you
Right.
beat this game, you beat this game. There's no hanging around. It's got to be a
Right.
continuation of the game. Um, but we'll see because I still haven't gotten to the end of it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I haven't even started playing it yet.
I would not mind Zach
Too much.
DLC for the people that know. And that is actually, that's a way I could see them doing it. A great point, Super John, is adding Zach as DLC or even more. If they did Zach, this one would be great. They did Zach for this one, and then for the part two, they add the Vincent DLC. That would be awesome. Even though Vincent's a part of the game, there's a
But
lot of stories to Vincent that a lot of people don't. They came out with a whole game that was just based off of him. So.
so you're saying there's going to be DLC?
That would be the only way I could see them do DLC is do Zack and it's like a continuation of the story, I guess. I just DLC is involved so much. The old school DLC I could see because then
Hmm.
it's just like an addition to the story, but the new school DLC is like it's so different. Like the way DLC now is being dropped to games, it's just so different.
Hmm.
It wasn't horrendous, Super John. It was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh boy,
I thought that was a good game.
that's funny.
It was it was so
Um,
different than what Final Fantasy VII was, and graphically it was very impressive for that time. For that time, obviously.
for that time,
Mm. It was very
yeah, the reason why they
Devil.
had to remake.
It was very Devil May Cry-ish.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
oh.
yep.
I mean, that's a whole series right there.
Mm.
Um, I almost forgot who Digital Extremes, what game Digital Extremes made, but it's Warframe. I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yep.
So more Warframe updates from Digital Extremes probably. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty huge, especially with obviously with what's going on and stuff. Having a 4-month extravaganza is insane.
Hmm.
And it kind of got kicked off today, I guess. Got kicked off today um with Xbox because they're doing presentations up until the release of the Xbox Series X,
Yep. Every month.
which
Every
I
month.
which we'll get into that. Is that right now?
Nope. I saw it. I had the history of games.
Nope.
So everybody, what we're going to end up doing is
Damn.
every week.
There goes my segue.
Every week, for our main topic, we are going to break down through the history of gaming. So typically, technically, we were supposed to start today, but because we have both our other guys out, because we had both our guys out, we didn't want to really start the conversation without them being a part of the generations with us, and we growing up together was a huge part of not together, but growing up around the same ages. We can all talk about our own personal experience. And I think it's whenever you talk about this topic that we're going to be talking about, you want more opinions because then it will make the overall opinion better. Me and Kyle can agree on something, and then that's just going to be dominant. And then if we don't agree on it,
Mm.
then it's going to be a little weird because there's no one else to kind of throw their opinion in there. So what we're pretty much going to be doing is going through and breaking down each gen through history, starting from the very first gen, and breaking down, okay, what was the ultimate console at that time? There's always been, talks about console wars and things, and we've always said the console wars don't exist, which hypothetically speaking, they kind of don't. But like, it's so hard to do that in the middle of a console thing because at the end of the day, you can't see the overall. You're still blinded by what you're seeing today or how you're feeling right now when you still have maybe some time left, or you forget about how it was like at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. So I think this is a good review to go through. Um, so next week we're going to be getting into the NES era. So NES, the Mega System, and we know that there were consoles and gens before then, but at that time there was really no real competition, and gaming really wasn't that commercial. So like, yeah, they had ColecoVision, yeah, they had Atari, but that was really it. No one really knew anything else. Like they knew what they knew and they just played it. The NES era is really where you start to see the competition between consoles saying this is better than this system and this is better than that system, and that's where you start to see the separation. Um, I was a big Nintendo head. If you played Sega, I hated you. There was no seeing it any other way. So obviously now I'm way more mature, and now I have a lot more reasons to hate people.
Sure.
I have more reasons to hate people now. So
Ah,
the systems that we will be getting into, I have my list here. We're gonna
bust
name the
out your history
boards.
books, kid.
So look back and be amazed at how bad it is. Oh yeah, Super John. I don't know. I'll have to do that, John. All right, here we go.
I have the list up right here.
All
Oh,
right.
by the way,
So we have. Nope, we're not gonna go that generation because we said we were gonna skip that generation. So we're gonna. There is My Vision, which wasn't super popular, but people were aware of it. It was just really bad. I'm gonna keep going because a lot of these people don't know. The NES, uh, uh, Atari 7800, Sega Master System. Um, it's funny, I had
I
the
think you're
Action
going.
Max.
I'm about to say, I think you're going ahead.
No, wait. So this is by the generation through Wiki.
All right, never mind. Like, I got this. I got you.
All right, you with me? Okay.
So
Commodore 64 game system, which we're not going to count that because that's not the real Commodore 64. So, um, so let's just say the games that were in competition was the Sega Master System, the Atari 7800, and the NES.
yeah, at the time, yes.
We'll say that's fair.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, because the Sega
But
Mark.
prior to,
Good.
go ahead. Well, I was about to say, there was actually somewhat of a video game war prior to that, prior to the NES and Sega wars, because if you go all the way back to the 70s and stuff, you do have ColecoVision and basically the one that started it all, which was the Atari 2600,
Mm. Well, okay.
which,
So let's not predate ourselves here, buddy, because ColecoVision was 82, not 70. All right. So ColecoVision was
I
my
mean, that's predating me.
that was the year I was born, bro. But that was
I'm just saying
actually
that.
that was actually my first video game console, and my parents still actually own that console.
Mm,
Yep. Yep.
which is
So
pretty interesting.
yep. Yep. So
But
ColecoVision.
it's crazy. Yeah, but it's crazy because like late 70s into early 80s, pre NES time, you had the Atari 2600 that basically launched video games at the time,
Mm,
where it sold 30 million units actually in 1977, which is insane.
mm,
A
that's insane.
lot of great games for that. Pitfall uh, is the most notable one. We're not going to bring up E2, even though that was later on. That was not Atari 2600. That was the 5200.
Worst video game
Um,
in history.
first in history. See, now I'm going forward and talking about the wrong system. But but it was, it was a brand new thing in the 1970s at the time. Had the little one joystick with the one button on the top of it.
Mhm,
It was something different. It was something fresh, something that was like new age
mhm,
technology. And it's funny because at the time, 1977, movie like Star Wars comes out. So now Star Wars is there, and you're seeing futuristic stuff in Star Wars. Atari 2600 may have like kind of piggybacked. It's kind of like a weird comparison to say, but at the time, it's like futuristic
mhm,
stuff and Star Wars and like what would the future be? And this kind of like resembles the future.
mhm. In the year 2000. Dr. V, we have not talked about that yet. That's going to be our main topic right now. We're just kind of refreshing on what we're going to be talking about each week.
Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy to think about that in the 70s this all started, like even predated. It was, there was the arcade games that were coming out, and different universities were working on things like this. It was nuts. It was in the inner workings like as early as the 1960s.
Hmm.
So, and then, after Atari 2600, it kind of fell off because it was such a big thing. You had something like the Magnavox Odyssey, which is another, known system, but it didn't do too well. Bandai actually had a system back in 1979, which is the company known as Bandai Namco. Now they actually had a system. We don't see anything notable really until 1980 when the Intellivision came out, which was made by Mattel of all companies. That sold 3+ million units.
Mm. Jeez.
So a toy company made a video game system and sold 3+ million units. Probably wouldn't do great now, obviously, but for at the time when it was starting to decline, it's pretty insane that in television sold like 3+ million. Because you got to remember now it's kind of like, okay, so our Atari 2600 is cool, and we're still piggybacking off of that. It's a cool system. Now everybody's trying to get into the game, but it's not like getting the popularity as the Atari 2600 did.
Right.
Then ColecoVision, your system came out.
Hmm.
That actually sold only 2 million units, which was
I was gonna say
crazy to think about.
ColecoVision wasn't as popular as Atari. ColecoVision was for like those. So ColecoVision was like for the hardcore gamer. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
it wasn't in the field like Atari was, because Atari just had Atari is like the grandfather of video games. Atari was already
mm.
in the league for so long. They had all the major game companies and stuff, but that's just what it is. Be my guest, my friend. Just lurk. That's what our show's about. If you want to add some comments, then please feel free. But
I
yeah,
pause.
but so with that being said, yeah, I think a ColecoVision was so good, but again, a lot of people didn't know about it because it wasn't as commercial as Atari was. Atari was the commercial, like Atari was the Nintendo at that time.
Mhm.
So
Well, it's weird because ColecoVision actually has um 2 million units sold, which is less than the Intellivision from 2 years prior, which is crazy. Then Atari finally releases their new system after 5 years of the 2600, being the Atari 5200, and that's when the possible um, destruction of gaming happens right there, because that is the system that came out with the infamous ET game.
I hate you, Super John.
And you
You,
have a dent on your head because of that. Oh my god.
um, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember some of the games that were Burger Time, Root Beer, um, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, there were actually Donkey Kong games on Atari,
Yep, yep,
which
Pitfall.
I do know that.
Yep, yeah, ColecoVision was real good. It was real good. So that's just a small taste of what we're going to be getting into. We definitely want to be having this conversation with a lot more um, with our other fellas. So I say we can kind of get into the Xbox one now, because the Xbox is going to be really, really good.
Really, really good conversation wise. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. So
I know, I know, I know.
I hate when this shit's out of order.
So, for the people that do not know, Xbox, again, like we said before, is going to do a presentation every month up until the release of the Xbox Series X. They're calling it Xbox 2020. And pretty much they had their first inside Xbox prior to Series X today. And needless to say, I won't say it was horrible. It wasn't horrible. If anybody says it was horrible, then super this was my point before, Van, what Super John just said. But anyway, it wasn't horrible. They did show some good stuff, but when they said gameplay, they didn't it was gameplay, but kind of gameplay. They kind of half-assed it, which Xbox right now, in my opinion, doesn't need to be doing that.
Hmm.
So, but
So
um,
I,
but yeah,
I'm
they had their first inside Xbox today.
I'm very curious. Um, Super John, I've seen yours already, but for the sake of conversation, because of the group, not everyone in here is follows you on Facebook. I would like to hear everyone's opinion on why you think it's horrible. Um, I don't think it was horrible. I don't think it was terrible. I don't even think it was bad. I enjoyed the conference. On the most part, I liked the games that they showed. Um, I think at the end, the one thing I really liked it was just game after game after game after game after game, and then when they got into the talking, that's when I thought it was kind of boring, and that's when they lost me because it was when you're talking on in a situation like you're doing on streaming, it's so easy to lose your attention. So, but I thought the games that they showed looked really intriguing. A lot of crazy games. Let's try to hit them in order. I hate websites that don't put them in order. So let's just see if we can get this in order. The very
Yeah,
first,
I'm not sure why.
what was the name of the very first game? Where is it?
Oh, the
Bright,
very first game that
Bright
was
Memory Infinite.
yep,
Yeah, Bright Memory Infinite was what they started off with. Gameplay. That was
yes.
gameplay. That was actual in-game play. Um, and that right away, the way they kicked it off, I was like, this is gonna be great. Like the game looked beautiful. It was a little too dark for me, visually too dark. But I thought that little mini boss fight was super cool. It really showed how smooth the game console is. So I really like that, and the game looked cool because like it was like guns, 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 swords, shields, cars. Like it's just they literally just took a bunch of shit and just kind of threw it together. So I'm very interested to see where they're headed with that. So, um, what did you think about that one, Kyle?
So this is one of the ones where I would say it really did show off what the Series X will look like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As far as the game itself goes, I mean, we'll have to see more of it. But I like where it's kind of going. It's, got the, it's adhering to many different types of styles. It's going from, your FPS to your first person hack and slash to driving. So we'll have to see. I mean, it, it looks cool, but again, I have to see more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is
That
kind of, I mean, I'll get more in depth of my thoughts after.
yeah, the
But
overall.
yes, I did know that, Super John. Yes. So the game was actually made by one guy
It was so funny because after
from
he
China.
said that, I said it in chat, not our chat, my brother's chat. I was like, did he just say one guy made that game?
One guy made
That's funny.
made this.
Mhm.
Which I'm sure they're gonna need a little more. He's gonna need a little more help to get the rest of the game out. But I mean, so far, brain memory. I mean, it looks cool. I like how they did show the engine in that one, but we got to see more
Mhm. All right, so
from it. So
I'm going to read Super John's and I'm going to read Dr. V's because they're on different channels, so that way you guys can hear what's being put out here. Super John says, main thing I disliked that I didn't mention was that they promised for weeks that this would show off their new console tech, that it would be focused on gameplay. That is where the hate is coming from. They did not, none of that. So I get it. So I had this conversation with Kyle. 90% of the games I felt showed gameplay, but there's a point that you made, Super John, that you're right. There's a difference between in-engine graphics and gameplay in that sense. And, and then Kyle made another great point, which he already just said, but he said it in chat too, was okay, maybe they show gameplay, but it wasn't from the point of view of gameplay. And that's another great thing. Like, so what happened was when someone says gameplay, they're looking for actually you playing the game, what it's going to look like as you're playing. Like right now, have somebody playing it, not something that is automatically operated, so to speak, and put just to make look good. So that I can agree with. That didn't happen, and it's very misleading saying it's going to be gameplay. Um, Dr. V says, okay, for me, it didn't give me any incentive to say, oh, I have to get the Xbox. There were the three games where I was interested in Assassin's Creed, the one that looked like Aliens, and Madden. Um, that first shooter looked okay. Graphics were good and sure, but it didn't again wow me. I completely agree with you. Um, there was nothing that came from this Xbox that's gonna say you have to buy me. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Dr. V. You're not going to get that from any of these conferences. And it wasn't what I was expecting from this conference either. I wasn't, and nor am I expecting anything from them to do to say, wow, buy me. Because to be honest, I don't think there's anything they can show at this point. Why? Because none of their games are exclusive. And if their games aren't exclusive, then there's nothing that's going to wow you. I made a joke in our chat and said, "Oh wow, all these games are going to be great for PS5." Like it's a joke, but I'm being serious. Like at the same time.
or
So
PC.
right, like it sucks. And that's the realization of it. I don't think you're going to see anything that's going to be wow. Like Sony wows you, it's easy for them to wow you because they have the exclusives to back it up. And that's going to be a big thing.
Well, that's the thing. Why does Nintendo and Sony wow people? Again, it's because they actually have exclusives, whereas Microsoft is going away from that
Mm-hmm.
right now. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that they even came out and said, and I don't want to get into in depth because we got to get through this and then I want to get more in depth. But, when they said originally that you won't get an Xbox Series X exclusive for the first 2 years, it's not reassuring because now people are going into these conferences thinking, oh, it looks cool. But if I can get it on PC and I have a PC, I'm going to play it on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like you said, a PlayStation. That's my whole problem is that the fact that we're not going into this thinking they're going to have exclusives for the system kind of ruins it right out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said last week if you're going to promote this thing, you have to promote this system like it's going to be a PC, just an affordable PC.
Mm-hmm.
So show off mouse and keyboard. But we'll
It,
see if they do that, in the coming months.
And then Super John just added, I disagree about them not being able to do anything to WoW. They have launch titles coming. They could have showed some gameplay or show a port from the Xbox One and how the load times are very different. To be honest, Super John, they've been talking about the load time being very different forever. We don't need to
Mm,
know that. We know that for Xbox. We know that for PS5. We get it. Like, I don't need them to show me. Like, that's going to be something that we should expect. And if it's something that we don't get, or if it's something that you don't already know you're going to get, then it's a waste of time. I don't need to see that anymore. Like, I don't need to see that. If you want to show me how fast load times are, I don't need a comparison. I just need to see it. I need to see something like you walking and it's just seamless. It's just loading one after another, one after another. Um, like Spider-Man going from map to map, you can see the load time. Show that gone. Like show a
right.
game that there's no load time and it just looks like it's just infinitely walking. Cool, but make it a part of the game. I already know that's going to exist. Just make it a part of the game. Just Xbox does not do good presenting things. So I know how that would be presented and it would be presented awfully. Like it would just be awful. Like they're not good at presenting. Like they haven't been good for years. Like it's disgusting how bad they present. And I just that's why then I think it's going to be impossible for them to wow. Like I just don't see it. The launch titles, like they could show Halo, like Halo, great, let's see Halo, but where that's a way that I don't think again that's going to be a wow. I don't think that's a wow. Like that's a they need to show. That's what we expect. Game live, like Twitch.
I mean, it's still a wow. I would still say Halo is a wow, but the problem is, first thing people are going to think is, oh, but I can play this on PC.
Hmm.
Again, that's my whole thing. That's my whole gripe with Xbox right now is that the word exclusive is out of their vocabulary.
Yeah, that's
Unless it is
a
by
major flaw. That's a major flaw, like a major flaw. And Dr. V says, how long have we had the SSD now? We know fast load times. We need to see reason as why I want this. Like you said, I already have a PC, so tell me why I should waste money on an Xbox. So that's going to be so Dr. V. I got to be honest. That is going to be very hard you're not going to see that. Like if you're a PC fan, like a hardcore PC fan, there's nothing that Xbox is gonna say unless it's exclusives to make come from the PC to buy an Xbox to play it. And that's where the exclusives come in. And that's where Kyle's coming from with that, is because there's nothing hardware that's gonna make you come from the PC. If you're in the PC world and you're already spending that money doing it, then not it's not gonna break it. Obviously you want it to be good, but PS4 and Xbox One is good. Just you're not going to compare it to a PC, and to make it where it is compatible with PC. Trust me, you're not going to pay the price that you're going to want to pay for that. That's they're not going to charge for that price for it. It's going to be pretty expensive. So from that first game they showed, that was impressive. Like that was impressive what that is. Yeah.
Right. The game looked impressive. Absolutely. And like Super John said, like I've been saying, you have to promote this like it's an affordable PC. So
hmm
show off mouse and keyboard. You have to. At this point, you have to.
hmm
There's no other way you're going to sell this thing.
hmm
You have to show it off, and that's what's going to differentiate it from at least the PlayStation.
Console fans are
That's
gonna
the main.
console fans are going to like these consoles. That's it. Not just going to be whether I get a PS5 or Xbox. That's for the console fans. But Dr. V, man, you're already in the PC world. Even if you're new, you're already in the PC world, man. Like you're already in an advantage ahead of what these new consoles are going to come out with. Um, but I do agree. Like we got to get to a point where consoles they got to be better, and they got to come closer and closer to a PC as we evolve, because there's things like load time that we care for, but there are certain things for consoles that I think you're not going to get on a PC, and that is the flawlessness of these things running. Like I can't explain to you guys enough on how bad games can run on a PC. Everyone talks about graphics, but let's talk about the major flaws these PCs have with games. Like I am a computer technician. I live by these things. Like I see the ugly of PCs. And as much as I love my PC, there are certain things I just don't want to do on a PC. In gaming, I don't mind being on a PC, but I enjoy it more on a console because that is what that console is designed for, to play video games. So I'm not. Does the console still crash? Yes, I can't say console don't crash, but you don't see it crash because of drivers. It crashed because of something stupid within the game. Like it was a bad mechanic in the game that you're gonna get that no matter what. But
Right.
Arkham Knight is the perfect example. It was so bad they stopped selling it on PC. Like it was a game breaking bug that happened to everyone. It ruined the game for everybody that played it on PC. And that's a problem. So I think Xbox here really is missing the exclusivity, like Kyle mentioned. Um, they're just not really good at presenting. They never have been, like I said. They gotta, they just, I don't understand how it's so hard, like why that company can't do it. You just, Super John said it perfect. Like, at that point, just stream the games. Like, show us what we want. Like, I don't, nothing more complicated than that, I guess.
This is what I was trying to say before. Like, let's put it this way, Vin. The next game that they showed was Dirt 5. How many in chat have played Dirt 5? Or
Mm,
not Dirt 5, Dirt in general.
mhm.
Like, they've have 5 Dirt games. I've never played one of them because they don't interest me. There's better racing games out there. Even like Forza, which probably won't be an exclusive. I'm sure they'll come out with one sooner or later, but it's not going to be an exclusive for the Xbox Series X. It'll look pretty, but it won't be exclusive. But Dirt 5, and then later on, the the interviewer was saying lines like, I can speak for everybody when I say we are all looking forward to Dirt 5. Who's looking forward to Dirt 5? Like the very niche crowd for Dirt?
I'm surprised they
Like
went
it's
with Dirt 5 instead of Forza. Like, I'm really surprised they didn't show Forza.
because this was all third party. This whole thing was third party. They even came in to this saying that this was going to be all third party. By the way, this event was actually the kickoff for the summer of game events, which I didn't know that. That's why when you said about Jeff Keighley, that's what they meant. This was the kickoff
Oh,
to the
oh.
summer of game events. So he
Oh.
wasn't on there, but this was the kickoff for it. And oh man, Xbox, that's not the best way to kick things off. But anyway, I'll get it more in depth again later. So they show off Dirt 5. The next game they show is the weirdest game out of all of them,
But you got my
which
interest though.
was
They got my interest in there. The
Scorn.
Scorn, yeah. Like so. See if these are
No, go
so
ahead. Go ahead.
so the problem that they have these could be in-game graphics, right? These could be gameplay graphics, but they didn't prove that it is by actually playing the game. You know what I mean? Like the graphics that they were showing are so good that it's almost unbelievable that they are gameplay. So that's why you have to show people play it. And I think that's where everyone is getting misled at is why didn't they just show somebody playing it? So like that Scorn game, like that could have been gameplay graphics. Like that could be exactly what it looks like playing it. But how do we know? Like how do we know? Like for years, this is how we've been shown cutscenes, and are you saying that cutscenes is exactly is what you're showing? Shut up, Super John.
No, no, listen, Super John is absolutely right though. Like that was an in-game cutscene, and it was gameplay. But I'm like, this drives me nuts. I literally watch Microsoft, and I don't know if anybody else has watched this series. I'm just gonna make a reference. You may not get it, but it's like watching Entourage when the main character in the show made a movie that was supposed to be this white hot movie, and throughout the creation of the movie, they came to find out that it was going to suck. Like it was going to be horrible. The movie was going to be terrible. But his agent was like, "Can you make a killer trailer?" They're like, "Yeah." So they make a killer trailer. Now got everybody hyped. But then the movie came out anyway, and it sucked. I'm not saying this game's going to suck. I'm not saying that at all. But this is why literally I told you before, Van,
hmm
that this presentation for Xbox and all of them leading up to the Series X needs to be double time, double the time of what this one was. This was a half hour long. These need to be minimum 60 minutes long. Minimum.
I
And
just
for the amount of people that are streaming right now, an hour is nothing. Literally, it's 8 o'clock right now. We've already been streaming for an hour. An hour is nothing. They need to double their presentations by 30 more minutes.
Hmm.
Because we got nothing. We got nothing from Scorn. Not a thing from Scorn.
so maybe how I feel about this is I'm not surprised by what we got. Like we got exactly what I anticipated.
Oh no, I understand that. And
You know what I mean?
I'm right there with you.
And
I'm right
maybe
there with you.
and maybe
This is
that's
exactly
why
what
I'm
I
not mad.
expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what I expected. And the reason why I'm mad is that Xbox needs to do more.
hmm
They need to do more. They know that they can sit there and preach about xCloud and all this other stuff all they want. And that's fine. That's cool. Promote your technologies. That's Microsoft promoting technologies. That's what they do. Promoting games, they don't do shit. They can't do anything. That's why this whole thing was third party, because they can't promote their games.
hmm
But if you extended this 30 minutes more and gave a little in-depth gameplay for each game that they showed, then it would be a great presentation. I would be sitting here going, they said what they were doing to do, which they showed gameplay, and that's exactly what we got. We got actual gameplay. Well, we didn't. We didn't get actual gameplay. We got an engine stuff, and it looked cool. But even when we get to Valhalla, when we talk about Valhalla, like they didn't show like what certain buttons do or what little things you can do or with the bird, because the bird's going to be a factor again. Like they didn't
That
show any of that. It was just in it.
the Valhalla showing that was horrible.
We'll get to that because there's a bunch more games we got
Yeah,
to get
that
through.
that was so bad.
So Scorn, Another we'll see. This one actually looked pretty cool. This one I would have loved to see an in-depth gameplay for it. Which was Corvus, which was like the Star Fox type
Oh,
game.
that looks so good.
It looks really good. Xbox Gamer, what's up? I'm mixing.
Hmm.
Um, but that one looked cool. That
Yep.
one I looked at, I went, wow, I want to see more of that.
Hmm.
I wanted to see in-depth gameplay of that.
Hmm.
But again, they didn't show in-depth gameplay. It was just in engine.
Hmm.
But it looked more like gameplay than a lot of the other trailers that we saw. This
Hmm.
one and another one that we're about to see were basically the two games where I looked at it, I went, "Ooh, those look cool."
Hmm. Yeah, no,
So
that looked
Corvus was really cool.
visually, it was super impressive. I'm very interested in where they're
Yep.
gonna go with the story wise of it. So, I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, it's gonna be that one could be insane. But
Hmm.
again, I want to see in-depth gameplay to that. That one could have benefited from the hour-long presentation part of
Hmm.
it. But next was Super John's favorite game, Madden 21. Looks cool. That that's about as much as I could say about Madden 21. Okay, so they promoted it. It looks cool. If you buy it on Xbox One, you get it for free on Xbox Series X. But is it really free? No, because you still have to buy the Series X to get the free copy of Madden
Hmm.
21.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a little weird. They showed Madden,
Mhm.
like
Well, I
everyone.
mean, listen, it was all third party.
Yep, yep,
The moment they announced that, I took a piss and walked around my house and pre-ordered a PS5.
yep. Pre-order. Did you put my order in, John?
Might as well put my order in too, because
Yeah.
I would get a PS5 before I got a freaking Xbox Series X. Then after that, they were reassuring us of all the studios that were working with them on with the Series X, which includes 2K, Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, Bandai Namco, Bungie, Capcom, so on and so forth. Just to reassure us that they're working with all these companies, just like Google Stadia did. Oh, sorry.
Do we think
Do you think
Madden?
Madden NFL 21 will be the best one yet?
I mean, it should be.
I mean, I'd say at this point, Xbox Game it probably should be the best one, but like the last good one I played was like Madden 05.
Yeah. I mean,
So like, I don't know. I haven't played a Madden game in years. They're okay. They're Madden. They're football games.
the
I
answer
played
to
a whole
that,
bunch of football games. I'm sure the mechanics are a lot different.
the answer to that is it should be the best Madden. Will it be? Who knows? With Madden, it's so hard to tell.
Correct.
So, what was after
Yeah.
Madden?
So they were reassuring that they're working with all these companies. Just so we're all very happy. Oh, good. The next game after that was oh my god. Oh, it was the puppet game, which was called I totally forgot what it was called now. Oh yeah,
The
that was
vampire?
Bloodline.
Yep.
Vampire Bloodlines 2
Yeah.
game.
It was so funny. Everyone messaged me immediately and said, "Oh, Vin, your game." I'm like, I'm glad everyone thinks I'm a psychopath. It's like
Why you don't love puppets?
they see a bunch of people hanging with like cut open faces, and they're like, "Oh, Vin, you're gonna love this game." It's like, "Oh, thanks." Everyone thinks I'm a psychopath because I like crazy
I'm so
fucking
glad
games.
that you think that. Oh my god. Well, I mean, here's the thing with this one too. I looked at this game. And by the way, this was definitely not gameplay. There's no way this was gameplay. There was a whole bunch of cutscenes. It was all cutscenes. This one, so this one was the one where I'm like, yeah, where's the gameplay on that one? But like even in the cinema sequence, it looked like a this generation game. It didn't look like a Series X game. It looked like a this generation game.
Yeah, no, that one didn't have. So I'm interested in the game again. Like I don't care about the graphics. Like I don't want every game that come out to be like super like God of War, Final Fantasy 7. Like I just want games that I enjoy. And the graphics on their own isn't going to do that for me. So like the way that game looked, I was okay with it. It looks like an interesting story, and that's why I wanted to do it. Once I found out it was vampires, I was kind of just like, I kind of lost interest after I found out it was vampires.
Yeah, I didn't even play Bloodlines 1, but it's confirmed source. And oh, gotcha. That would make sense, Super John. But no, I get what you're saying. You don't want every game to look like that, but they're supposed to be showing off the power of this system, and then they literally went into this thing saying all this was going to be gameplay. But this one literally had no gameplay. This was a cutscene one.
Hmm.
So Xbox killing me right now. Killing me. You're saying here saying this is going to be all gameplay, and now you did show a trailer for a game that was a trailer, no gameplay. So this is why, like, they're literally doing the opposite of what they should be doing right now, and it's not helping them.
So my whole thing is there's more to these consoles than the graphics to show off. What we need to see is the performance. That's what we need to see. For years and years and years, we always get
Oh yeah.
the peak graphics for what they can do at that time, and we get zero product out of that. There's been so many games through the history, and shut up to Super John. Super John's baiting that one. Um, and we end up getting
The
trash.
reason why we're not talking about that, Super John.
But the performance is what I want to see. I want to see these games load fast. I want to see no more load times. That is what I want to see. No load times. I get it that these next gen consoles gameplay is what should be revealed, but that's what Xbox is brainwashing everyone to think they were going to show. Number one, and number two, think that that's what the consoles should be about. I want my games to load fast. That's it. In our generation so far, that is the one thing that we continuously lack. And with the PS4 and the Xbox One, it got better, and then it got worse as the game started getting better again. We can't lose sight of that. We need to get these game systems to run these games at high caliber a lot better and faster. That's what we need, and especially if we're going to be getting a lot of these good games. Like for example, that game that they showed at the beginning, we who's going to want to play that game if that game's just going to continuously load? Who cares how good it looks? If it can't run that smooth, then that's going to be a problem. And that's what I want to see. I want to see continuously flowing good games. But don't get me wrong, I don't want to see games all pixelated and stuff like that. A game doesn't have to be pixelated to
Right.
be bad.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. But like just this is why I keep saying in depth, in depth, in depth. Do something in depth, and they didn't do in depth.
Hmm. I mean, some of the
Like
best games.
we talked about it.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Let's say we talked about it before about the loading time. Do we want to sit there and watch like a comparison of the Series X loading with the Xbox One? Well, not really. No, because they kind of did that with the PlayStation already. So we already know how it's going to be. So that should just be a normal thing. It's just go through. Like we already know it's going to load. So just go and play through the game and show us how it's going to perform and how it's going to look. This system is supposed to have ray tracing, right? So why are we not showing off the ray tracing in the games?
Hmm.
I just don't understand Xbox why they're doing this. Xbox is trying to do trailers like Sony or presentations like Sony or Nintendo would do, but Sony and Nintendo can get away with this stuff because they actually perform well and put out exclusives and put out really good games that people are looking forward to. I bet you 100% that the games they have do not use that tech, not yet. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, but
it wouldn't
if
be the
they're
first time.
promoting it,
It wouldn't be the first time.
oh no.
Wouldn't be the first time. Remember,
The next game that
I was gonna say,
go ahead.
remember when PS4 and Xbox One first came out? They talked about all this extra stuff, and we didn't end up getting that until a couple of years later into both consoles. Both consoles were guilty for that, and that sucked, you know.
But if we're going to promote this like a PC, or that's what we're saying they should do, got to show off the ray tracing technology that
Like I said,
supposedly
man,
have.
that's marketing. Xbox doesn't know how to do it.
That's for sure. Next game that they showed was the Medium. Creepy. Definitely looked creepy.
Yeah, creepy.
It showed off some more in-engine gaming. But again, got to see more. But definitely looks creepy. Looks interesting. They got I keep forgetting his name, but basically the guy that did all the music behind Silent Hill to do the music for the Medium.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
Yes, which
Nice.
is quite interesting.
Nice.
So that's why it's got that really creepy vibe to it. It does have a Silent Hill feel to it, but again, we didn't see in depth. We saw in engine. I'm just gonna keep saying that the whole time because that's what Xbox needs to be doing. Medium look cool, but no CGI. Aren't all the games CGI? Sorry.
No, you technically.
They could be saving the gameplay trailer for EA Play. As far as Madden goes, yeah, we'll see. We'll see Xbox.
Yeah,
gaming.
Madden. Yeah, yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that.
Oh, goody. The one game that I was actually looking forward to, even though I'm kind of questioning what the enemies are supposed to be, which was Scarlet Nexus.
Like, seriously though, how intimidating is roses with legs? Can we talk
I
about
don't know,
that?
but I mean, it's got creepy legs and creepy hands and stuff. So,
But
but again,
they're roses though.
another game that I would like to see in depth. This was a little more in depth than a lot of the other games that were shown off. But I would like to see mechanically like how different things worked out. Basically, I watched this and I thought of Astral Chain all over again. It kind of does feel like an Astral Chain
It's Astro Chain.
ripoff.
It's Astro Chain.
You're right. Yeah, it is Astral Chain. But I'm not gonna really knock it because it's like okay, but I do like that genre. So it does look good. That was the one where I went, oh, this one was really good, especially after playing it. I don't know. Every time I gave her a rose, I always feared the day the rose would attack me. Possible.
There's nothing more
But
scary
no,
than a nice smelling rose to come and kill you.
Looked like Code Vein too. So the only reason why I think it looks more like Astral Chain is just how it plays, because it literally feels like a platinum game when you're watching it.
You shut your mouth, Xbox gamer.
I would like to see Spider-Man remastered for the
See, Sony likes to do a thing where they actually like to keep games on their consoles.
True. Very true. Oh my goodness.
But I could see why you want that.
I knew this would turn into the whole Xbox bashing show. So yeah, Scarlet Nexus to me was by far the most interesting thing. After that, Oh, the Turok ripoff. Now we went from the Astral Chain ripoff to the Turok ripoff, which was Second Extinction Reclaim Earth. Um, Initially I was like, I thought it was like they're not doing a whole Dino Crisis, are they? Right now, but then it was a whole different game, and I was like, oh, okay. That's another one that actually showed a little bit of gameplay, in engine, obviously. But I mean, it looked again another one that looked a little more in depth than a lot of the other games. It's interesting. Looks very. It's not really okay. So it's not really like a Turok ripoff because I feel like this is going to be more of an arcadey type dinosaur game because it looks like absolute massive havoc going on with a whole bunch of dinosaurs.
It looks like it can be something fun though. Like it depends. As long as there's a lot to do besides shooting dinosaurs,
Yeah.
like I could see that game being fun.
Oh yeah. I agree, but it looks like a whole not mess, but it's very arcadey ish, and there's so many. It's almost like here's one. It almost looks like Left 4 Dead, but with dinosaurs. And Left 4 Dead had a whole bunch of zombies just coming after you and attacking you.
Mm-hmm.
And there could be different types of dinosaurs. You
Interesting.
got to think about that one, huh? I'm about to say you got to think about that one, huh?
No, because I didn't think of that until you said that, and I'm trying to see the comparison. Yeah, no, I can see that. Like again, like I think the game would be fun, just depending on like how much can you do. Because I just don't want to run around shooting dinosaurs.
Right? No, I understand.
Just like
Totally
Left
understand.
Left 4 Dead, I don't want to sit around just shooting zombies.
Correct. The next game that they showed was the new Yakuza game, which was Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I can't do it anymore. I just can't.
Can't do it. No more Yakuza, huh?
No more Yakuzas, please.
There are so many Yakuza games
It really is.
out
And I'm so confused with this one. Like
there.
I don't know.
It's not a typical one, right?
No, has it
That
been
game
out?
has been out in Japan for years by the way.
I wouldn't doubt it
I'm not
because it's a
surprised.
Japanese game, so I wouldn't doubt that that's been out for a long
Japan
time.
always gets this. I'm about to say Japan always gets that shit before we do anyway.
Hmm. Typical
Street Fighter Six
JRPG.
might be out already. It literally was. This is just a Western release. Yeah, not surprised. Not surprised. So they did a whole interview. I think that was that it. That wasn't the last one. No, all right. And then the final game. I can't believe I said that was it. No, the last game that they showed, everybody was waiting for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
All right, so my issue with this is it's pretty much the
I'm
same trail that we already freaking seen. You know what I mean? Like it's the same
Mhm.
thing. So I'm not mad at the game. I'm just mad that Xbox wasted our time with it because the way they presented it was like it's going to be this big showing of it, and they were going to talk about it a lot, and we really didn't get much more than what we already knew.
But I mean, I don't know if I can really blame Xbox fully for this because they're not the one that really made the trailer. That
No,
was a whole.
but
That
it
was a
did.
whole Ubisoft.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, so Xbox can control what's being shown. They can set a limit saying, hey, this is what this needs to be, or we just don't show it. Who's it going to be more of an advantage to? Ubi or themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's the new thing they want to do, but PlayStation's not showing anything. So it's not like they're in competition here. Like, it's like, hey, PlayStation's not showing anything. So do you want to show your shit on the PlayStation one? Good luck, because they don't even know when they're going to show their console. You know what I mean? So, um,
Right.
in that sense, Xbox would be like, listen, we want to see more. Like, if you want us to show this, you got to show more.
Question. Think of yourself inside the company of Xbox in all seriousness. Why have the conference right now? Why not wait to show real gameplay? and they don't get in depth with it. And by the way, also, this again was the launch event for the Summer of Games that's going on right now. I just don't understand what they're doing. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are we not going in depth? You need to go in depth. And especially when you're streaming this, you have your own streaming platform on Mixer. Why are you not doing, again, at the very least, an hour-long presentation of this? I understand the situation that we're in, that we can't leave, basically can't leave our houses, but it doesn't stop people from making like trailers and in-depth gameplay. They have the engine. They have the engine to do it. Just why they don't do it, I don't know. They're too worried about their technology. That's my opinion. They're too worried about their technology.
Honestly,
The
I
big
just
games
don't.
could be waiting for E3 in June, even though there's no E3 in June, Xbox Gamer.
To be honest, I just think they just don't know how to. This is Xbox. This is what Xbox has been doing since their changes in power. And it's been bad. It's been really, really bad. And they want to try to be hip and they want to try to be cool and they're so focused on doing all that stuff, they lose the focus of doing what they need to do. And at the end of the day, they're just not good. You guys are seeing it as they said
Mm,
they were going to show gameplay and they didn't. They honestly, I just don't think they see what they did, and that's what it is. That's the problem. That's what it comes down to. They're not trying to cheat anyone. They're not trying to scheme anyone. Their PR is really that bad. And coming from a business aspect, I'm telling you guys, I've come hand to hand with a lot of business people that just don't have what it takes, and you automatically assume because of Xbox making millions and Xbox is this big conglomerate company, but at the same time, there are people that run these major companies that just suck at what they do.
mm,
Like these guys didn't create Xbox. You know what I mean? They became a part of Xbox later on, and they're just not doing a good job. Like PR for this. Take what I'm saying about the PR and just one day, everyone that's watching, go back and look at their conferences, look at their media showings, go look at the first Xbox show that they did in Mexico. It's just look at everything they did and truly put on your goggles and just look hard at how the whole thing ran from a non-biased point of view and just see how bad it is and how poorly put together, and did they actually even share anything with anybody? And in this case, they just think saying titles was good enough. Most of those titles we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like there was very small amount of titles that we're even familiar with, that you could be excited about. All the other titles, no one even knew. So how
mm.
could you be excited about a game you don't even know if you're not showing off how well of a game that could be?
Right.
And I think that's the
I agree.
problem.
So, Xbox Gamer, there's not going to be any E3. That's why they're doing the whole Summer of Games events for the next 4 months,
Hmm.
with all those companies. So there's literally not going to be an E3.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's already
Super
confirmed.
John
No E3. No
bringing up
E3.
right. Super John bringing up the question again that he's brought up before. Do you guys think it should be $80 next gen or stay $60?
Actually, he was on the show when we talked about it,
Well,
I think.
yes. That's why I was like, oh, he's bringing up that question again, huh? I'll say it like this. If they want to take more time, and put more content in there, but make their game run smoothly and put it at an $80 tag, but I know I'm getting everything and there's no DLC, then sign me up. I will gladly pay $80. As long as I know it's the full game and not like half-ass and then you're gonna add DLC to it. If they don't do that, then no, $60. Then if you're gonna add DLC afterwards, okay. But no. It all depends on what they want to do. If they want to put out the full game, but I know I got the full game, Sure. But if they're going to do that and then add more DLC afterwards, which would be the same amount as a $60 game, then no, keep it cheaper.
I wouldn't pay the 80. I'm not. I mean, I would pay the 80 because I'm an idiot. But I'm saying like I would rather keep it at 60. We've gotten to this conversation before, and my
Right.
choice is still the same. I do like the fact of DLC because it gives you the option to, so you can still enjoy the game with the options to be able to add more content and stuff like that. Um, I just don't think it's gonna. I think you're getting a very negative feedback from that, and um, it's going to be a lot worse because people already think we don't get games fully, and now you raise it to 80. What makes you think people are going to be like, oh, now it's 80, I'm going to get the full game? People don't think that way. The world's not built that way. And there's anyone that knows that better, should be you, Super John. Know that people don't think that way. Um, it would cause such a plummet in video game sales. It wouldn't even be funny.
Right.
Just because people won't think
Yeah.
that way. Like, oh, maybe more money, more content. People wouldn't think that.
Curiously asking because I have developer friends who are being paid minimum $60 just isn't enough to sustain a big team. That is true.
I get it. I do get it. But uh, you understand something that I try to explain to people all the time. Charging more doesn't it charging more can fluctuate how much sales you get. So something may
Right.
be underpriced, but if more people buy it, the overhead, the revenue could be the same as charging more. You're just going to get less sales. Um, Games like God of War obviously are going to sell. Um, Games like Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. But um, it's tough. It's
Yeah, that is
really
very.
it's really tough.
eh, It's very true though, Vin. Yeah, it's very true though, Vin. I do agree with you on that. It's like, yeah, they could charge $80, but then still charge, pay developers
Hmm.
the same price that they're already getting
Right,
now. They're
right.
just gonna make more revenue on the side. I mean,
The
that would be a huge backlash from the devs, but I could definitely see that happening.
I can tell you one thing that the game companies need to stop doing is money is being invested into the wrong areas. I mean, we brought it up with 68, what is it, studios in Rhode Island. Um,
Yeah.
when they were buying stuff that was completely unnecessary.
Yes.
And it's no need for it. So when the studios, it's all about budgeting at the end of the day. But I know there's video game companies, the AAA game, I mean the indie game is the way to go. I mean, there are major developers that have been involved in companies for years. They're leaving, starting their own studios because they're making more money. Because now it's so much easier to make more money doing it on your own. Once you establish your starting, because game companies are now supporting it so well. So
Right.
it's tough. It's tough. But all in all, let's start wrapping up. What was your final thoughts on the Xbox conference?
They need to do more still with the games that they're showing. They're not promoting it the way they should be, in my opinion. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm not saying I have the right answers. I'm just saying, in my opinion, treat it like the company that you are, Microsoft. You are a PC software company.
Hmm.
And I know you love to show off your hardware stuff,
Hmm.
but you kind of need to promote this like it's the PC. Otherwise, you're not going to sell as much at all as Sony's going to, because
Hmm.
Sony's probably just going to blow again.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
get
Um,
in depth, Xbox.
it happened the way that I anticipated it to happen. I wish it didn't, but the all in all, I did like some of the games they had, so I'm okay with it. So I'm good with that. But I do agree with what you guys. They could have showed a lot better. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I don't know. Uh,
Not the best way to start off the summer of games there, Jeff. So hopefully this turns around real fast. Dylan on Mixer, what's going on? How you doing? Um, so yeah, we'll see what the other companies come up with in the coming months for old Jeff Keighley.
yeah, definitely
Xbox
like to
slash
see.
Microsoft have so many IPs, freaking use them. Don't need to be AAA. Just do something fun and show the gamers and the games love again. There's no love. I agree. I agree. As far as Microsoft goes, I agree.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, that's it for us this week. Um, Next week we're going to get into the what are we going to call it? The first gen?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna get into the first gen of consoles, who won that console war. We're gonna get heavy into, Nintendo, Sega, um, and kind of express how we felt, as well as bring some facts. If you guys, like the retro systems, please join us for that show. Start a Super John Gen. Super John Gen. Um, but that's it for us this week, guys. Next week we'll have the full crew back together again, hopefully. And until then, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.